Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 3 of K-pop Besties. We are your K-pop Besties. I am Wendy. This is Warren. And we're back talking about all things K-pop. And in today's episode, we are talking Twice being referenced in a Marvel comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blackpink debuting a new single in
Ready for
PUBG's
love.
concert, Ready for Love. Don't Copy Strike Me YouTube. We're talking ITZY's latest album, our Stray Kids concert experience, and so much more. Warren, how have you been? It's been a minute since I've seen you.
Good. We've the last time we saw each other was at the Stray
I
Kids
know.
concert.
How sad is that?
It's
That
very
was at the
sad.
beginning of July, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But good because we've had so many cool things happen in the K-pop world. Like you just
Yes.
mentioned, I have been listening to Checkmate, ITZY's new album, just nonstop.
Let's talk
Really
about that.
love. Oh, I would, no problem. I would love to talk for that. Okay. So for starters, like I think I texted you one point. I was like, half the album's great, half the album's okay. After
Mhm.
listening to the album more, listening to the songs more, I'm like, you know what? I like every song on this album. There are just a few things that kind of get like you kind of have to get used to them. Like the
Mhm.
song Free Fallen, like there's this wee part, and I'm like, that's weird. But like I listen to it more and more and more. I'm like, actually, I like it. Like I like it now. But overall, Sneakers is amazing. It's a great
Yes.
comeback hit. And just everything else that they kind of do is like really it's all familiar, but some is like very different. Like the song Racer is really good. I really really like that song. I think it's a great change. I think it's a good tonal change as well. And then they also bring that to the song 365, which
Mhm.
I love that song. I think it's awesome. And that's also a big tonal shift as well, but each song kind of keeps that the ITZY vibe.
Yeah.
And they mentioned they're going to experiment with new things that they've wanted to experiment with. And I think of those two songs particularly, it really shines. It really, really shines. And you know what's really interesting? I was doing research about this. The song Domino,
Yeah.
which is also happens to be a Stray Kids song, not the same.
Yes.
But the song Domino, they
Mm.
sing, I love it. I love the song so much, but I swear I hear Momo from Twice singing in it. Like I
Ah.
swear, and I have the physical CDs and the books, and I've looked at the credits, and I don't see her there anywhere.
Mhm.
Of course, it doesn't like say singing credits. It just talks about lyrics and how it's composed and stuff like that. But I swear, because Momo has like I love Momo's voice, but it is like a squeaky voice. It's that high
Mm.
squeaky Japanese voice.
Mm.
Um, and it sounds just like her, and it drives me crazy because every time I hear
You
it,
keep thinking she's in it.
I'm like, it has to be JYP. They're both JYP. They're
Yeah.
close. I'm like, it sounds like Momo, and I'm like, there's no way to figure it out, right? And then they've done a live performance of Domino, and of course Momo's not there, right? It's just the five of them,
Right.
and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful performance. It's really cool. They're like sitting in this thing, like the stage, but it's like circular, and they just stand there, and like the camera
Mhm.
circles around each of them as they sing, and it's really really cool. It's a great performance. You also check that out.
Oh.
But yeah, overall the album I think is actually pretty fantastic. Sneakers is always in my head. Racer is always in my head. 365 is always in my head. It's really cool. It's a great album, and I'm really glad we got it right before KCON, in case we do meet
Yes.
them, which we'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah, we will circle back to KCON in just a bit. So how many tracks on this album?
I believe it's 6.
Oh, so it's a mini album.
Yeah, I don't know if they call it a mini album.
Okay. I
Yeah,
think I guess looking from the US standpoint because we're so
from the
used to a
US
full
standpoint,
track.
it's a mini album.
But
But like,
Blackpink literally has 8 tracks on their album and they call
right.
it that I would consider that a mini album, but they consider that a full album.
They call it the album. That's literally the
Yes,
name
they do.
of the album. Hold on real fast though. Is it
For ITZY?
yeah, no. There no, there's I thought there's 6, but there's a 7th bonus track which is Sneakers in English.
Whoa, that's cool. I haven't listened to that.
It's really interesting to hear the groups do English.
Mm.
Like there's like in Sneakers where Ryujin says get loose.
Mm.
That's in English on the original Korean track, but she sings it differently on the English track. I'm like, why did they not just keep it? It's already in
How do they
English.
sing it differently?
She just sings it. It's almost like the pitch is a little bit higher. Like,
Huh.
whereas she would be like in the original, like, get loose. And then in the English one, she's like, get loose. And I'm like, okay. It's just like this subtle thing. I'm a music nerd. So like I make music myself. So I love like really listening to everything. So normal people probably wouldn't know that. Like they probably wouldn't hear it at all. And I'm not saying it sounds bad by any means, but I noticed that there's a difference. And I was like, why did she re-record that when they already had the audio? But yeah,
Maybe
it's
it's a creative choice.
maybe. And it's always good to hear like their translations of those songs.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes because not everything translates over, right? And you would know that, being born in Taiwan.
Yeah.
So
That's interesting. I really didn't know that there was an additional English track for Sneakers, so now I'm gonna have to listen and compare
yeah,
for sure. And now I'm gonna listen for that. And then going back to, was Eraser that you were talking about
yeah.
for the part where you thought Momo was in, or was that Domino?
No, that's Domino.
I wonder if, sometimes when we hear about this in the industry, they have, groups have songs that they have sitting on the shelf for a long time that they recorded, or they get a song that was technically written for another group.
Somebody else, right?
Yeah, so that happens. So I wonder, just because they belong in the same entertainment agency, I wonder if the Domino song could have potentially been a Twice song and they decided to not use it. And so JYP is like, well, ITZY, would this fit your vibe? And so maybe that's why we hear a little bit of that.
I wonder if Momo
style.
wrote it, because I know
but she'd
Twice.
be credited.
I know, yeah, that's the thing. Because Twice is starting to write for JYP more, right?
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So they had, especially Nayeon.
Mm-hmm.
So I in my mind I was like, this could work, but again, she's not credited as like a writer or composer on it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually say like ITZY sings this song, right? It doesn't ever give credit to like the ITZY members for singing the song. It just talks about like the lyrics and all that stuff, because it's like, okay, we know ITZY sings it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel like we would get like a featuring Momo, because I feel like that would drive attention.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, they would use that. So I'm gonna say no, but y'all can let me know. Listen to Domino by ITZY, and it's during the chorus mostly. It's actually every part that's not a verse, so like the chorus, the pre-chorus, and at the ending bridge. Basically, every time they go like a domino, domino, I'm like, that's mo.
Like, that's the subliminal message right there.
Exactly. That's all I hear. So
Momo.
Exactly.
Not Domino, it's Momo.
It's Momo.
Oh, that's cool. That's something I'm gonna have to listen to for sure. Like, I've got Sneakers on replay over here, but really haven't checked out the rest of the album. So I'm going to definitely be doing that this week. And since we were just talking a little bit about Twice, let's talk about this really interesting discovery. I actually want to thank, you were pointing to your, hold on, I'm gonna cut back to you. You're pointing to the girls. There they are. Yeah. So I was actually on my TikTok, and I sent this to you via TikTok. So actually, listener of the show, Zach Mendoza, had it on their TikTok, and it was like Twice being referenced in a Marvel comic. And I was like, okay, hold on, drop everything. Because I had, when Blackpink's As If It's Your Last video was playing in, I think it was Justice League, in Barry Allen's like little workshop. On all the screens there was a Blackpink video that's playing in the back, and it's as if it's your last.
I know this. Wow.
Right? It's like super subtle. So I didn't catch that the first time, and I had so many people message me. It's like, did you see this for Blackpink? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's really cool. Wow. So naturally, when I saw that Twice is being referenced in a Marvel comic, and I'm like, what character is listening to Twice, and which comic is it? So we actually have a screenshot of it right here. And this, I know this frame really doesn't tell you anything, but you can very much recognize the lyrics. I want to cry for me. That is Twice's Cry for Me. And if it's not confirmation enough, the second frame literally says, make your rain fall, cry for me. I'm not going to sing it just in case copyright, but this is actually, and it's so appropriate. This is being referenced in the Silk Marvel comic. And this is, I believe the issue is issue number 3. And the writers on it are Emily Kim, Takeshi Miyazawa, and Ian Herring. And for anybody who doesn't know Silk, which I know Warren does because you're Mr. Marvel dude, but Silk is a superhero. She is her name is Cindy Moon, and she is Korean American. So I kind of love that the writer was like, and she listens to she's a once.
Right.
Cindy's a once. It's established, or whoever is listening to this, Albert, I guess, is a once. So I just thought that was really cool. Yeah.
It's always really cool when two of your favorite worlds collide.
Absolutely.
You know, you can nerd out about two different things, and it's like, oh my gosh.
It's just so rare. I don't remember hearing any or seeing or knowing about any other K-pop references.
The only thing
Marvel
that I
comics.
like latch onto that I love so much is how much Ryan Reynolds loves Stray Kids and how much they
believe
love
me, I wonder if Deadpool is going to have reference to, like, you know.
Right. Yeah, I would hope so.
I would love that. Like, he's just we watching Stray Kids.
The Peacemaker Blackpink reference.
Yes.
Like pretending you know who Blackpink is, or like whatever he says like that.
Whatever it
Somebody over at Warner Brothers likes Blackpink.
And I think Warner Brothers, I think it's like, I know that Blackpink is JYP, but I think there's some sort of American
they have their
music.
English record labels and stuff like that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
so I think that because Justice League, when they appeared in that's also WB. So
right. That's what I mean. Somebody over at Warner Brothers definitely. Or there's some cross promotion there. So
I wonder. I'm curious to see more K-pop references in comic books, in superhero movie or TV show references. I think that'd be really cool.
But, because it's getting huge.
Yeah, it is getting huge. So hopefully this podcast helps you guys out in learning.
We were here before all these other new people that are going to come in the years.
And we welcome all the newcomers.
Yes, welcome.
Welcome. And with that, let's go ahead and move on to this very exciting debut of a new song by Blackpink, Ready for Love. We all heard a little bit of a tease in their Netflix documentary, Light Up the Sky, and it's just just very quick snippets, and you're like, when is that song coming out? Because it's certainly not on the album.
Right. They literally showed them recording it.
Yeah, so you know that exists.
It's done. Like
it's been done. Who knows when they recorded when that was?
Right, who knows? Years, yeah.
Yeah, so but during the PUBG concert, they performed it, and I actually watched the majority of the concert, but I watched their performance of the Ready for Love song a couple times just because I think it looks really cool. Look at the girls.
Yeah. No, it was done well. I won't dive into my preference over Fortnite concerts or PUBG because it's Fortnite. Not because of the game, but because of the actual concerts.
Fortnite also does.
Yeah, so Fortnite does concerts as well. The Travis Scott concert they did was really, really cool.
Cool.
I would say it was cooler than this one. Now, I obviously like this one more because it was Blackpink.
Yeah.
But it was PUBG Mobile, though, so there's only so much you can do, right? Yes. But I think for what it was really, really great. It was really, really cool.
Yeah.
The girls, how they had them on there were great. They switched up, outfits and stages and stuff like that. Like, it was pretty cool. It was done pretty well, and I was just waiting for that new song. And I think we only got like half of it because they just did like a verse and a chorus, and that was like it. So there's supposed to be like the actual music video coming out for it soon.
I hope so.
Or the actual. I'm actually gonna check right now because I saw them post about it
for Blackpink.
Yeah, I saw them post about it on Instagram.
It definitely makes sense because in the last episode, we literally talking about, YG confirming that the girls are going to have a comeback and another world tour announcement. So I just wish, even from the last album, like I wish there were more music videos. We only got a couple. And I know they're expensive and it's a big production and all, but there are several songs that I'm like, why isn't there a music video for this?
Right. So I guess it's tomorrow.
Blackpink, the music video?
Yeah. And PUBG Mobile, Ready for Love, music video. Yeah, and they're animated, but they look really good. They actually look like aespa here. aespa does the whole novice thing.
Yeah.
So this is the 29th.
That's tomorrow.
At 12 a.m.
Our time?
Yeah, because that's like 1
That's like,
p.m. Korea
yeah, in
Standard Time.
Korea.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
So I guess tonight, and this probably won't air today. So just for reference, it's the 28th.
Yeah, just for reference, today's the 28th.
The 28th. But yeah, I think that technically means tonight.
Does that mean we're gonna have to stay up and watch it? I'm staying up to watch it.
I mean, I have a hockey game, and then I'll get out and I'll be like, let's go. Because that's most likely 12 a.m. Eastern time.
Oh, so it's 9 o'clock our time.
Yes. So
Well,
I think
LA time. I won't even be home.
yeah, exactly. So we'll be able to just come
Okay.
up and watch it.
All
that
right, that's
was like my
exciting.
last hockey game. I don't think it was the very last one, but the one before that, I got out and it's like, oh, it's these new albums out.
Oh my gosh, how
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Go online and purchase.
Purchased way in advance. That's why remember I kept like, I'm like, oh, I have another book. Oh, I have another book. Oops, I have 5. Because it's like
Yeah, I was
I
like, what
bought one
happened?
from Barnes and Noble, from Target, from their website. The Yeji signed one, like because there's like different things in each of them, right?
Yes.
There's like exclusive things. So I was like, well, I gotta buy them all.
Exclusive photo cards and
Right.
posters and books. Yeah, that's really cool. Man, well,
Yeah.
I guess we got our work cut out for us later this evening on top of, what we normally do on the
Our
internet.
normal job, yeah.
Yeah. So there is that. So you maybe not hear it first, but we're telling you that Blackpink is coming out with their music video for Ready for Love.
Yeah, and it looks like it's gonna be animated, kind of like aespa does their novice.
But it's not
animation
going to
stuff.
look like their PUBG counterparts.
I don't know. It doesn't.
Doesn't
No,
say
it
it
looked
anywhere.
on the poster. It looked more polished.
Okay. I am ready for it. Ready for Love.
Ready for love. Love it.
Hey, you and I were talking about KCON a little earlier.
Yeah.
KCON is coming to LA. Here's a little poster for it. This is an older poster, but the date is still accurate. August 19th through the 21st. And some of the artists that have been announced, obviously, we know ITZY and Hypen, Stacy and Mix, ATEEZ, Luna, TL1, and most recently added Stray Kids. I about lost my mind, you guys.
I know.
When I texted Warren, I was like, hey, so I know we just saw Stray Kids, but they're coming to KCON. And you replied with a big capitalized, what?
I did.
Yeah. So
because we have already planned to go to KCON.
We had already planned to go to KCON. We are going to KCON. So we'll see what it means. Because, so it would be both me and Warren's first KCON.
KCON, yeah.
So from what I understand is there's like a 2-part thing. There is the convention aspect of it, where there's booths, vendors, things like that, which is, kind of cool in itself. And then there is the concert aspect of it. Now, we don't know how long of a set each artist will have at KCON, when you have groups such as, Stray Kids, ITZY, and Hypen, ATEEZ, and Luna. So I am not sure if they get like a 45-minute set, because then how long is the concert with all these
you also
groups?
have the KCON rookies and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they deserve time on the stage too.
Right. But then you also think it's like ITZY and Hypen, Stray Kids, ATEEZ, they're almost like too big for KCON now. It's like I was actually really surprised when ITZY was announced, and then I was really surprised when Stray Kids said they were coming.
What?
I was like,
wow.
Wow.
I feel like there's a lot of JYP artists. At least 3.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in Mix too.
Yeah. Stray Kids, ITZY, in Mix. And I'm not sure who else belongs to JYP.
Yeah.
In the lineup, but you guys tell us in the comment section. Nonetheless, we're excited to go. We will definitely be reporting back right here on this channel and on this podcast about our first experience at KCON. What are you hoping to get to see?
Well, it's just so everybody knows, we're going as one, because we love it, so we're going just as fans, but 2, we're also going kind of as press. We got approved to be able to actually bring our cameras and report it, because they don't just let people bring in like DSLR cameras and stuff. In fact, they specifically told me you will have to apply for another pass that lets you bring your camera in, because they were like, we hate paparazzi. We don't want people just taking pictures of talent and selling it. Like, this is literally for you to make content for. So As far as what I'm expecting just to see a lot of really cool people. I'm expecting to go to a lot of booths and have a really fun time.
Yes.
I'm trying to keep my expectations low. We obviously did request for interviews, and pretty much everyone we've mentioned, ITZY, Stray Kids, and all of them we've requested. But, we haven't been in the K-pop, industry that long. I wouldn't be surprised if they're just like, no big deal. But we also get to attend the red carpet, to where we might have an opportunity to talk to some people. But again, we're not huge, so we might get overlooked. So I'm trying to keep my expectations very low, but I know we will at least be very close to some of our favorite groups. And that is exciting enough for me, because I still might faint if Yeji is like 10 foot away from me. I just might. Anybody from ITZY, I might faint. Freaking Changbin comes up and it's like 10, or Felix is like 10 foot away as well. I mean,
you don't put that in my head.
I will say this: after the Stray Kids concert, Changbin like worked his way up. Like he's at the top for me. Like his rapping is so good. Like he's such a performer too. Like so good. I'm like, yeah. So my expectations are going to be, I'm going to go to KCON and have a fun time. I'm not expecting to meet anybody. I'm sure I'll see them, but we're going to try to, record the whole thing and have a fun time.
Yeah, we are going to have a fun time. We are. It'll be the first con, and because we're going not just for fun but also for work, so there is a different mindset that I'm going to approach it, which I think is probably healthy, so I can stay composed when I see a group that I really really like. I am not usually the screaming. Like if I meet a celebrity in person, I'm not usually like that. Anyways, at a concert, it's a whole different thing, because I bought the tickets to enjoy myself and scream my little heart out. Exactly. But I am going to, be a grown, composed person on the outside. On the inside, there will be a lot of gibberish screaming inside my head. Of course.
And just so everyone, everyone's aware, we Wendy and I work in, let's say, Hollywood. So we go to like red carpet premieres and stuff like as it is. So we are actually around. Like I talked to Chris Hemsworth at the Thor premiere. It was like for 5 seconds, but I talked to him, right? And people always ask me, like, do you get starstruck? I'm like, no, not anymore, unless it's music.
It's different.
It's very different for me with music, right? But like you said, it's like, but I know when I, we're just, we're professional adults. When we see people, we're not like, oh my gosh, it's just gonna kind of be like, hey, big fan.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty timid about asking for photos when I encounter, an actor or a director that I'm a really big fan of. It depends on the situation. If they look like they want to have privacy and they don't feel like it,
right?
And you feel it out. And I'm never offended when they tell me no, like not right now. I'll be like, no problem.
Well, so I met Sam Raimi at Thor: Love and Thunder, and I got a lot of pictures, a lot of people at Thor: Love and Thunder. But he was like coming off the carpet doing interviews. You could tell he was leaving, and I just went, "Hey, Sam, really big fan, really excited." But he actually like stopped and talked to me, and I wanted to, but I was like, he took the time to just stop and talk to me. I'm not going to bother him to ask for a picture, even though it's the legendary Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, but like you said, like sometimes like you really feel it out, and you can tell like. Because it is always scary, right? It's always like, but you have to realize these people get asked this all the time. If they say no, it's just, they're real people. They have real lives. They have schedules. Personal. They're busy. It's not personal at all. Yeah.
And you also have to feel out, this is kind of going away from K-pop, so we'll come back real quick from K-pop, but you also have to feel out not just the demeanor of the person you're speaking with, the talent, whether it's the actor or the director or cinematographer or whoever, but you want to watch out for their team's body language.
Yeah,
because sometimes they're like, gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta be just understanding, and it's they're not trying to be like, oh, no, we don't want to talk to you. It's really not personal.
And it really is, and especially when you get as big as Stray Kids, ATEEZ, ITZY, like especially when you're at like a con, like everything they do is like, we have to be here at this time, we have to be here at this time, like this time is allotted for this space right here, this space right here. So it's like if you're grabbing them and that's not in their schedule, it's really not personal. It's no, sorry, you're not in our schedule right now. We have a set schedule.
And I'll say this, it's rarely up to the members.
Oh yeah, it's
and I'm sure they want to say yes to everybody, so it's up to their team, their managers to be like, sorry, we got to move on, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Nope, and that's why
Yeah.
they have those people.
Yep, that's so they can be the
That's
bad guys and say
literally
no
their
because
jobs.
the
Right.
members are too nice to say no.
Yep.
Because if they say yes to everybody, they would have no time and they would never
No
meet
time
any
at
of their
all.
schedules. But
Yep.
with that, let's go ahead and talk about our experience at the Stray Kids concert because Warren, I gotta tell you, you and I were texting a lot before this concert happened. We were seriously worried if we were even
Oh,
going to get to go to this concert.
I was so worried. I was
Yeah.
so worried. Because they had canceled 2
They
shows.
had postponed 2 shows,
They
the
had postponed
Atlanta
2
one
shows.
and the Texas one, the Fort
Right.
Worth.
And because 3
I
members got COVID,
Mhm.
and yeah, it just worked out. But I was so scared. But then they had the one the night before, and I was like, we're good. Like, we should be fine. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a ride going up to it, because like it's like, you're so excited for the concert, and then it's like week and a half before, it's like, oh, 3 members got COVID, and you're like,
Crap.
literally a week and a half before, you're like, are they going to be able to test negative in time?
And that no
for
one
the
else knew
No one else
tests
gets it.
positive because that was the thing I was worried about. You and I we were trying to science this
We
thing. I
really
was
were.
reading up. Yeah, we were reading the CDC because they said that they were following the U.S. the CDC recommendation of the quarantine period, which is you count 5 days from the first day that you test positive
Positive.
for it. So technically, that would have been that Thursday, and the concerts were Saturday and Sunday. It was that Friday. So I was like, okay, so if they test negative by this day,
Right.
the concert should be able to go
Should
on,
go on.
assuming none of the other members test positive.
Right.
So we were keeping like just a real close eye because Warren and I fought for these tickets, like many of you out there who go through Live Nation and Ticketmaster for any
Ugh.
K-pop concerts. It is a fight, and it doesn't really matter how early you think you're in
It
this
doesn't
virtual
matter at
line.
all. At
It
all.
literally doesn't matter. So Warren and I fought hard for these tickets. We got them. We had our outfits planned. We had how we were going to do, how early we're arriving. Everything was planned out. So we were
Parking,
really worried.
merch line,
Yeah.
yeah.
We were seriously worried, and like I had really wanted to see these guys perform live. So nonetheless, I'm really happy all the members are healthy. They are continuing to test negative. So they did finish their US tour. I am not sure exactly what's happening with the 2 postponed dates for the
Yeah.
Atlanta concert and for the Fort Worth concert. I wonder if that's something they can finish once they're done with KCON, and maybe that's why they're coming back.
Maybe that's why they're coming back, because they have to do. I
they have to
that thought
satisfy those
too.
tickets.
Yeah.
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 So
I hope they do for those people.
yeah.
Yeah.
But this is the first time Gore and I seeing Stray Kids.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, they put on a really fantastic show. Here's a photo of us after the concert. Masks on. Everybody was wearing masks because nobody wants the kids to be sick. So everybody kept it on. Here's another photo of us before. So let's just talk about how long.
That was like way before.
That was hours before. So
It was so long before the concert started.
Here's the thing about concerts. It's not that because we all have a ticket, so we already have a seat.
Right.
It doesn't matter what time you arrive to the concert, your seat's going to be there because you paid for it. But if you want merch, that is something you want to, put in your schedule and plan for.
Really?
And we heard that the merch line was opening at noon, and I said, Warren, I'm picking you up at 10 o'clock in the morning. It'll maybe take us an hour to get there.
Yeah.
I think I got to you by 10:30. We still got there at 11.
Yeah.
Parked, and we waited in line for about an hour, and it went by. Once the line started, it went by relatively fast.
Yeah,
and these are the merch that we got.
Ooh, I love this jacket.
Yeah.
Or the sweatshirt. I love it.
For the listeners, let's describe. Warren is wearing a crew neck, black crew neck that has like graphic artworks.
It's from Maniac.
Mm-hmm,
it's like
Maniac.
if you watch the Maniac music video, there's like animations that pop up of like when Changbin says "Freaky Monster," like that's Freaky Monster,
Freaky Monster,
Broken Heart, a UFO.
You think the kids drew that?
I hope so.
That'd be cute.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be really cute.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. And Warren bought me this cropped Maniac hoodie that is that maniac green. I'm gonna call it the maniac green. It's tie-dyed and it has the word maniac across the chest, and then a little Stray Kids symbol on one of the two sleeves that I can't find right now. Where is it? On the right sleeve.
There
Yes,
you go. It
Stray
also has a
Kids.
spider web
Yeah,
on the A and the C, which is
yeah.
definitely a reference to Venom.
I've been wearing this way too much. It's summertime and I'm like I'm obsessed with this hoodie. So we got our merch, we got our light sticks, and then it was just, a really long
Oh
5-hour
gosh,
wait
it was
until the
long.
concert.
Yeah.
So there were only a couple of things to do while we were waiting. Sit in the car with the AC on, or go to the
It was
nearest.
hot.
It was very hot. It was like 90
Yeah, to
plus
stay
that day.
outside and like wait, we would have
No,
died.
thank you. No, thank you. We brought a lot of water and snacks, but
Yeah, we did.
it still wasn't good to be outside.
Yeah.
So the nearest establishment for food and drinks and shade and free AC was, we thought
We
before getting
thought.
there,
We thought.
we thought it was going to be a Starbucks, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, where we
Perfect.
got this, no
Yeah,
problem. We'll have some
easy.
Americano, like it'll be great. We got some strawberry refresher. It's a drive-through, you guys.
Just a drive-through, like
Just a little box.
and like it's like a car drive-through and a walk-up drive-through.
Yeah,
But
there's
no
no
inside.
seating.
There's no inside
No
at all.
seating. They had just the regular amount of staff working, and I don't know if they knew how much
Oh, I
business they were going
know.
to get.
Yeah, because we could just see people just going.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was insane. So we waited out the rest of our time inside of Sizzlers.
Inside of
I
the
have
Sizzler.
not been inside of Sizzlers since I was like, I think it's been like 10 plus years since I set foot inside of Sizzlers.
And I had never been in one.
So it's a little salad bar buffet. You can't order food a la carte, but we just decided to do the salad bar buffet. And I came home and I told my husband, I was like, hey, I definitely got my fair share of vegetable intakes today, because that's all I ate.
Just salad, yeah. And
was
corn nuggets.
salad and corn nuggets. First time trying a corn nugget.
So good.
It was delicious. The fresh ones were better.
Yes. Always.
But overall, these kids put on such, I call them kids because they're called Stray Kids. They're quite young, but
to us they're pretty young.
Yeah, to us they're pretty young. They put on such a fantastic show.
So good.
Yeah, this is one of the photos that we took during the concert, and it was nice to see, the fans come together, yelling, screaming, maybe a little crying. And here's another photo of my other bias. Yay, champing! Just the kids saying hello and greeting, and look, it was so good. Their concert was so good that I considered buying tickets to their Anaheim show.
Yeah.
I really considered it, and there were some pretty cheap tickets for like the really, the upper bowl.
Yeah.
But schedule didn't really work out.
Yeah,
and
it didn't
so
work out for me either.
I didn't end up going. So now that we've watched them in concert, Warren, do you have like a favorite number that they performed?
So I'd always wanted to see Miro live because that's just such a live song.
Mm-hmm.
It's like EDM-ish, you know what I mean? And there's like chanting in it, like oh, and they're like the Stray Kids.
Yeah.
That song really delivered, but I think the overall performance that they had for Thunderous, it started off with them dancing to like really, really cool, I want to say like almost like traditional ancient Asian music.
Yeah, like the Korean instruments.
Right, yeah. And it was like this cool dance number, and then Changbin came out and he was like, when I say Chow, you say Changbin, and like he did that a couple of times and he's like, I like you guys. And then he just starts rapping, and then it like stops, and then Thunderous starts that auto-tune whoa in the beginning, and then he just starts rapping, and then a live band comes out and starts playing, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And then right after the first chorus they stop, and then they move to the other stage, and this thing comes down from the top that's like super, super cool. And again, it was like ancient, like temple-ish, right? I don't know how to describe it. And then they went and they did the first chorus again, and then they went through the song, and it was all with a live band, and it was just so cool. Oh, but wait, no. But Venom had that big spider come out.
The big spider was cool.
Right. I'm like, oh wait, I forgot about the big spider. That was
cool.
Sick.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
Cool.
Yeah. I gotta say the production design was really really good, from the
Yeah.
way they entered to, the way that they used the second stage and other fixtures. The inflatable spider legs was so cool because it saved space. When we entered, I don't know if you can see it in this first photo. I don't think so. Well, kind of. You guys can kind of see if
The
you look
things
at
on the
the
ground.
end. Yeah, those little lumpy things that are on the stage. They're covered in the tarp
Tarp.
before the
We were
show.
wondering what they were too
We
before. I was
were.
like joking. I was like, I bet you the kids are under there. They're just gonna,
Taking a
they're
nap.
just chilling. They're just gonna pop out.
Just gonna pop up and say, "Hello, we're Stray Kids."
We were here the
But
whole time.
we were here the whole time listening to you. But yeah, the during Venom, the spider legs, and they didn't just inflate fully; they actually were mobile. They were
Yeah,
they
they
were
like
moving. I don't
moved.
know if they were being puppeted by the staff or
Yeah.
what, but it added an extra element to their performance. But I think like you, um, Sorikun was probably my favorite performance because it was okay. We were talking about this as the concert was starting, and I said, "Gosh, I wish they had a live band because I think that really
Yeah,
elevates
she did say that. Yeah.
music." Yeah,
Yeah.
because a lot of times Blackpink during their tour. I'm not sure about BTS because I actually haven't been to a BTS concert, but for Blackpink in their latest tour and in Coachella, they had the live band, and I thought it sounded so different, so cool, and I wanted that for Stray Kids. And I honestly, looking back at some of the footage we have from the show, I think that live band was playing through or playing along with a lot of the tracks. I know some of the tracks are more electronic, so you can't
Sure.
really
Sure.
mimic that.
Yeah.
Uh, but they were on a riser, so they were, I think,
Right.
playing backstage underneath the stage half
Right.
the time.
Even when you didn't see them.
Yeah, and it was
Right.
revealed during Sorikung, and when Warren actually at that point turned around, he's like, "You got your live band."
I
I said,
did. I was like, what the look,
"Did."
Ben?
Yeah, so it was really great. I loved seeing that, and I think more so than just watching them perform, it's the interaction between the members because we all know Stray Kids to
Yeah.
be freaking chaotic.
Yeah. Those little crackheads is what I call them.
They're so crazy. They made Felix do his aegyo, which he
Oh my gosh.
hated so
Hates,
much. Hyunjin
hate.
do it too, and he was like trying to shake it off. He was trying to dance it off at the end.
Right. And I
Gosh,
think it was
I
Han
hate it.
who lifted up
Instigate.
Bang Chan's shirt
Yeah, man, they all instigate. They
to
all
see his
instigate
abs.
that.
Yeah,
Han
it
is
just
Han is on Team Stay.
yeah, it's a really fun energy.
Yeah.
They have and Hyunjin like didn't want to leave at the end, which is really cool.
Yeah, he
And he
kept
was
on
like he was the
waving.
last person to leave, and like everybody's off stage and he's still on and he's still waving. He's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to go home. And I was like,
Oh.
oh, that's really cool.
Did you hear, speaking of him, that he hurt his hand at the next location? I think was
Oh,
it Seattle or Bakersfield?
Oakland? Oh, no, I
Yeah.
didn't hear that.
Or maybe it was Oakland. That he actually hurt his hand. Some sort of incident with the door. I don't know if the door shut on it or some I don't remember. But there's photos of him. So from after our concert, his hand was actually pretty heavily bandaged up. He's still performing. They didn't cancel any more dates, but he had to really restrict his movement. And if you
Hmm.
remember how hard he performed,
Yeah.
at our concert,
Oh,
I
he
was
was.
watching
Oh,
him. I
I
was like, man, he
remember.
was insane.
I remember. I turned to you at one point in time. I'm like, look how much Youngjin is sweating. Like he
Oh my
was
god, he was drenched.
doused and like from like the first like 2-3 songs.
Yeah,
Like he was
it's like
going
somebody
all
dumped a
out.
bucket of water on him.
Yeah, he was going
Yeah.
all out too. Yeah.
I think, these artists, they love being in the studios. They love making the music and making music videos and being on programs. But I think touring is a whole different thing for
That's
them.
always been my thought process. It's like, yeah, it's great to do all that, but it's really, really like work.
Yeah.
But then when you're finally there in front of the fans and performing, which is what you really want to do as a
Yeah.
performer, it's like that's where it's at. So it's like
That's where it's at.
yeah.
Yeah. So overall, if they announced another world tour, you can bet that War and I are going to be on Live Nation fighting our way to get those tickets.
Maybe we'll meet contacts at KCON.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
geez.
that's the whole thing. We got a network.
Maybe if we tell them, hey, what if we buy tickets for like 20 people and we can bring some of y'all or something like that? Maybe we could get early access to tickets.
Early access, sound check, all of that.
Oh, geez.
Because it's a mission.
Well, I remember. So you talk about it doesn't matter how early you get. Like I had the tab open for Twice tickets.
Yeah.
For like a month. It literally was like, 32 days until Twice tickets go on sale. I never closed the tab ever. because like when I have a Mac, so when you have a Mac, you just shut it. It doesn't turn off, right? Macs like
Right.
never turn off. I'd open it up. There's the tab. Every time I open it up, 28 days, 27 days. Like, I never
Wow.
ever shut the tab. And then when I got in the queue, it's like 2,000 plus people ahead of you. I'm like, I know no one was there before me. Like, I know no one was there before me. Come on.
I was the
Like,
only one.
the second they said tickets are on, will go on sale this date, I clicked and there it was on Ticketmaster. It was like I had to be one of the first people, and I don't know if anybody else would have left the tab open that whole time, literally the whole time.
My
So
gosh.
it's so stupid how it works, but point is, we will be fighting for those next tickets.
We will, yeah. The next time they come back to the US for a tour, we will definitely be fighting for the tickets. Do you think it's different in Korea? The way they do
Yes,
it?
right now they're not allowed to. The audience is not allowed to yell.
Still?
That was that way with Twice,
Oh
which was not
my.
too long ago. Before, I haven't seen any footage of Stray
Huh.
Kids in there, but I know for Twice that's how it was.
And do you think the ticket distribution when it comes to purchasing tickets online is the same as here? Or
It's not. I don't think it's through Ticketmaster. Um,
is it still a fight?
I'm sure it is. I mean,
Mm.
more because think about how many people know them here compared to Korea.
Yeah.
It's like, they're like Taylor Swift here, right?
Yes.
Over there,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's just like Justin Bieber, you know what I mean? It's like they are global superstars, but
Hmm.
obviously where they are from,
The
their
hometown.
language and everything like that, like they're much bigger over there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna put this on our bucket list. You and I can
Go to
travel to
Korea.
South Korea,
Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
and watch a concert
Hmm.
of one of the many groups that we enjoy watching
Oh
in
yeah.
concert. I think that would be really cool. I mean, we're gonna be, lost in translation a little bit. My Korean's not
I'm
that
good,
good.
but mine's
Yours
pretty
is
decent
decent.
now. Yeah.
Yours is pretty decent. Mine's all right. I can understand it more than I can speak it because
Sure. That's almost
to,
any
to get the sound and
language
the
you learn.
pronunciation exactly.
Yeah.
Korean's hard to learn, man, and this is coming from a person who is bilingual.
Yep. I
It is
mean,
hard.
me too, but like Spanish doesn't count. I mean, it counts, but
It
like it's
counts.
still the English alphabet.
Ah,
So,
mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And like there's sounds in Korean and like in Dutch, because I know Dutch too, that American
Don't
English
have
doesn't
that
use.
sound.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about
So
English, but American English doesn't doesn't use. So
I like that you specified.
yeah.
Well, with that, I think that about wraps up for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed our recap of the Stray Kids concert, the fact that we got to go, and some of the other news about Blackpink, Twice, and ITZY. And we will be back next time to talk about our experience at KCON. And I'm sure we'll give you guys update prior to us
Yeah.
going as well, maybe.
Hmm.
So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. It gives us a lot more visibility, both on the podcast front and on the YouTube front.
Yep.
Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And
Please.
you can follow us at our Instagram, which is way over there on the corner underneath Warren, Kpop Besties Pod on Instagram. I think we're going to attempt the sneakers TikTok challenge.
Yes.
We're going to attempt it.
Don't
expect too
be
much,
mean.
guys.
We could, because I say right now, like, yeah, I could do it. I didn't
Yeah.
say I could do it well, but I can do it. Like, do I know all the moves? Yes. Do I look like a dancer? No.
Hopefully, please give us an A for effort.
Say, hey, you tried your best.
Hey, you tried.
I'll know you mean that sucked, but it's better than
But
hearing
you still
that
tried
sucked.
and you were brave for posting it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching and listening, and we will see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
여기 계세요.